Somos uma região de perfis contrastantes. Panorama urbano, paisagem rural e floresta agreste na encruzilhada da indústria e da criatividade.
Somos rios velozes e extensos vales, por entre os vestígios do passado longínquo e do património dos nossos antepassados.
Perseveramos e provamos que está ao alcance de toda a população adotar pequenas ações capazes de impulsionar a tão necessária mudança de paradigma.
Temos de pensar menos como senhorios e mais como inquilinos no nosso meio.
Temos de agir menos como consumidores e mais como cidadãos e cidadãs, tomando responsabilidade conjunta.
Tão avassalador quanto pareça este compromisso, responsabilizamo-nos, projetamos e tomamos ação.
Apoiamo-nos no nosso engenho, conhecimento cumulativo e experiência comum para melhor compreender o nosso meio envolvente hoje e para enfrentar os desafios urgentes do amanhã, com confiança e uma postura esclarecida.
Passo a passo.
Envolver cidadãs e cidadãos e incentivar a sua participação nos processos de decisão é torná-los embaixadores e embaixadoras de um futuro sustentável.
Pequenos gestos somam-se em grandes conquistas.
Sensibilização gera comportamentos conscientes.
Esforços conjuntos levam-nos mais longe. Em conjunto, podemos alcançar tanto.
Today we show the world that it is worth dreaming. This is a very special day because our municipality won the European Green Leaf Awards 2022, a very important award showing that we are working for a better planet. My friends and I are able to play hide and seek and touch the earth without fear. We go to the mountains and we see many trees that give us shade and make us breathe better. We can hear the birds, the water, the river, and sometimes we see animals passing by. For this reason, today, we celebrate this victory, and in Valongo, we are all proud because together we managed to help nature. But we must remember every day that this is a mission for everyone, and because we want to continue to play outdoors, go for family walks, get to know our mountains, rivers, and parks better, we have to help our county to be even greener, to be more beautiful, cleaner, and more sustainable. We want to say thank you to everyone who had the concern to preserve nature and think about the future. And as a form of thanks from all of us and all the children in our county, let me call Mr. Mayor, to whom I will hand over a branch with plants from our mountains.
Minhas senhoras e meus senhores, muito boa
Ladies
tarde.
and gentlemen, good
Sejam
afternoon.
muito bem-vindas e
Welcome
bem-vindos à cerimónia
to this
protocolar
protocol ceremony
Valongo
of Valongo
European
Green Leaf Award,
2022, que reconhece o nosso
awarding our
município como
municipality
grande vencedor
as the
deste
great
prémio,
winner of this
atribuído pela
award,
Comissão Europeia
granted
a
by the
cidades
EC
com
to cities with
população
population between 20,000 and 100,000 inhabitants,
valorizam o empenho destas
valuing the
cidades
commitment of these
em melhores
cities
resultados
for
ambientais.
better environmental results.
Tivemos assim o merecido reconhecimento.
We got this deserved recognition for the effort in developing actively the awareness raising and the environmental citizenship and in acting as green ambassador on a global scale alongside the Dutch city of Winterswijk.
Assim, cresce
Therefore grows and broadens the responsibility of the municipality of Valongo as a green ambassador, as well as the great opportunity of highlighting Valongo and Portugal in the European scenery, with the possibility of going beyond borders with a strong commitment and the best results for sustainability. We just heard the reading of the commitment charter by Maria Luís from the 5th grade of Escola Básica 2-3 of the city of Valongo, that binds us all to the responsibility for a better and more sustainable future. Now we will unveil the plaque of honor and commitment of the European Green Leaf Award 2022. The dear Mayor of Valongo, José Manuel Ribeiro, and Maria Luís, please. Let's now begin the presentations for this afternoon. And now we have the participation of the architect Teresa Anderson. She has monitored the process of creating Parque das Serras do Porto and coordinated the management plan, a project that she still keeps today with all dedication and commitment. So, dear architect, you have the floor. Good afternoon, dear Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear people from Valongo, dear people from Europe. Valongo was awarded the Green Leaf 2022 award. And we are here now for the first day of the project that Valongo provides. I feel Europe in Valongo. I feel European. I feel from Valongo. I'm extremely joyful for being here, for the hope and expectation that this day brings to me, that I think brings to us all. Time will hurry, I'm sure, but now we have this possibility of building a path and culture that are entirely new. Above all, this award means commitment. We've heard this before. A commitment with the European project, with a Green Deal, between people, between communities. A commitment with nature and for nature, by nature. Hundreds of contenders. In 2022, the jury highlighted two. Winterswijk in Holland, near the border with Germany, in the heart of Europe, around many different fields, and Valongo, an Atlantic municipal area with almost 100,000 inhabitants. We do have a lot of mountains too. Let me also talk about Grenoble, which is a 2022 European city, green city. Let me congratulate the municipality of Valongo, the mayor, seduced by the European utopia and the democracy, locally based, as his team in the municipal executive and the technical team. I feel very, very proud, and we are all proud too, I'm sure. The Green Leaf Award distinguishes the result that can only come from work that happens every day. Every day we work, fulfilling common goals. In Valongo, this award was also possible because to dream is a condition that exists, and that happens here. Valongo has in its memory, including recent memory, very hard times, as the ones we are experiencing today. In Valongo, there is identity, there is pride, but there is a stigma of a peripheral area. But Valongo does not follow this prejudice anymore. The continued commitment in better environmental results in a sense of a greener growth in a way to collect garbage garbage which is not garbage, it's a resource in the way of consumption of water, in the rational use of electricity, circular economy, and the results are here and are visible. And we are here with an award that congratulates us all. We are trying to change behaviors of each citizen and the way to live in community of consumers, to people who are responsible for their resources, communities that value to be and not to have. I'm very grateful for this municipality and its welcoming to share its vision, its ambition. Today is a joyful day, a brighter day. In 8 years of work, 2 metropolitan parks in the northern region of Portugal are a reality. The protected landscape of the Parque Serras do Porto and the corridor of the river Lessa Valongo has contributed for this reality. This is what the Green Leaf Award 2022 confirms. Congratulations and all the best. Thank you. Thank you, the architect Teresa Anderson. And now we have a message, a few messages actually. The message from the mayor of the city of Lappeenranta, Finland, as the maximum representative of the municipality who was awarded with the European Green Leaf Award in 2021. And then we have a new video from the mayor of the city of Winterswijk, from Holland, inequality representative of the municipality, which was granted the European Green Leaf Award 2022. And now the mayor of the city of Grenoble in France, the European Green Capital 2022.
Mayors, the Commissioner, greetings from Lappeenranta, the climate capital of Finland. Our Green Leaf year has just ended and yours is beginning. City of Lappeenranta is a city with 73,000 inhabitants. The city locates in the shore of Lake Saimaa, the 4th biggest lake in Europe. We are famous of our lakes, beautiful nature, one of the best sustainability university globally, industrial hub and a center of southeastern Finland. Lappeenranta was earlier nominated by WWF as a climate capital of Finland because of our bold climate actions. Our Green Leaf year included over 70 events, 7 actions, green leaf art and new nature protection areas. The COVID situation made our year a bit difficult, but now when we look back to the year, we were able to make much more actions than we expected. Such a great year we had. The city of Lappeenranta can help you providing presentation or building a new development projects. For example, Lappeenranta has advanced knowledge of climate change and circular economy, nature-based solutions, lake restoration, green electrification, and connecting business and research activities in these topics. I wish an active and bold year for 2022 for Valongo. 1 year is a long time and it's a great opportunity for city. I know you will learn to tackle the COVID situation and make a great year. Best wishes for all the citizens and stakeholders in Valongo.
Dear José Manuel Ribeiro and all residents of Valongo, dear attendees, congratulations on this opening. It has been a while since we met the Valongo delegation in Finland. Then we already saw your enormous enthusiasm, and that has not diminished. You are a worthy winner. We had our Green Leaf opening last week. We were then addressed with beautiful words by you, my friend José Manuel Ribeiro. You inspired us by emphasizing that change really has to come from municipalities like us. And this is true. We as Greenleaf municipalities, and of course the Green Capital, are going to stimulate others. Winterswijk wants to be the ambassador of change, together with Valongo and Grenoble. For you, this is the start of an exciting year, in which you want to show everything you have to offer in the field of sustainability. And that's a lot. Think, for example, of your ambitious program in which the city is offering support to low-income citizens in the transition to sustainability. I also think of Valongo's close collaboration with neighboring cities to preserve the surrounding nature. Together, we have a big responsibility to make the Green Leaf Year a success. We enjoy sharing our ideas and invite you to visit Winterswijk later this year. Like Valongo, we have an agricultural area. This leads to questions, challenges and new opportunities. We have problems like drought and nitrogen. We are also curious about your challenges and we would like to learn from you. We have seen that Valongo has an ambitious Green Leaf program. This will be certainly a success, partly due to the inspiration of Commissioner Sinkevicius and his great team. From Winterswijk, we wish Valongo success and hope for great cooperation.
Voilà, Grenoble vient officiellement de lancer son année capitale verte européenne le 15 janvier dernier. Nous sommes ravis d'avoir donné le coup d'envoi de cette année exceptionnelle et de voir le bouillonnement de projets et d'initiatives qui se déploient sur le territoire. Aux Pays-Bas, Winterswijk a démarré aussi son année feuille verte européenne 2022 il y a quelques jours. Et c'est désormais le tour de Valongo. Je vous souhaite un excellent lancement pour cette année 2022 qui s'annonce très riche. Nous souhaitons créer le plus de passerelles possible entre nos trois villes, Grenoble, Valongo, Winterswijk, et avec le réseau de toutes les capitales et feuilles vertes d'Europe. Quelle que soit leur taille, les villes sont au cœur de la transition. Elles portent les aspirations de citoyennes et de citoyens qui veulent inventer de nouveaux modèles face aux défis du changement climatique, tout en protégeant les plus fragiles et nous mettant tous en action. Nous voulons faire de nos villes des villes résilientes, émancipatrices, où il fait bon vivre dans chaque quartier, des villes soucieuses du bien-être et de la santé à travers l'alimentation, la qualité de l'air que nous respirons, la préservation de la biodiversité qui nous entoure notamment. Ville pionnière en matière d'environnement, Valongo est pour nous une source d'inspiration et pour toute l'Europe. Et je vous souhaite une excellente année 2022 en tant que feuille verte européenne.
And also to the Mayor of Grenoble. Let's continue this session with Célia Ramos. She's the Deputy Mayor of the Commission of Coordination and Development of the regional area of the North. Good afternoon, dear Mayor. Congratulations. Hereby represented by you, and do allow me, Maria Luís, to let me congratulate you all and the municipality of Valongo for this award and for being recognized with the Green Leaf Award. This is one more indicator of the strong, persistent focus that the municipality of Valongo has shown in its environmental action as a transformative action of public action and behaviors. Congratulations, for real. Like all awards, this European recognition, the first one in the north of the country and the second in the entirety of the country, is an incentive to grow in this movement that cannot be denied, which is the environmental causes. An incentive, motivation that we share, that we are proud of course, but also an accrued responsibility that must also be shared. Do allow me to tell you three different things about all this context, all this process. First, one thing, for the strategic and territorial framework of the municipality of Valongo, and the film that was presented clearly showed this. It is in the core of a metropolitan area, a lot of people, but with a matrix of occupation of the soil that is mainly in forestry and with intense landscape and natural assets. Let me also tell you about the path that we have been following with the creation of Serras do Porto, involving the municipalities of Gondomar and Paredes, the creation of the Green Corridor of the Lesser River, creating one more association of municipalities, including not just Valongo, but also Maia, Matosinhos and Santo Tirso. One third remark goes to highlight this cooperative path with the neighboring municipalities around and associated with people, resources, and involving populations. The fourth remark is the progressive adoption of innovative practices of valuing our natural assets such as water, soil, and biodiversity. Best practices that foster in full the mobilizing role that this award recognizes in Valongo, which is the Green Ambassador. And because everything that is from the human body is interesting for a physician, the CCDR and will continue to be part of this initiative and to support it actively with these practices that encompass domains as significant as water, nature, biodiversity, sustainable usage of resources, the quality of air, noise, waste, circular economy, climate changes, energy, performance, urban mobility, and carbon neutrality. Let me also tell you, and I fully believe this is a very peculiar time. This is a time that if we are nationally gathering the operationalization of tools as important as was the law of the climate at the end of 2021, regionally we are now designing the operational program, but also the regional program of urban planning, a roadmap for climate action, the action plan for the management of bushfires, and what we do for sustainability, where we do gather tech solutions that do evolve every day with solutions for the social landscape that bring changes in terms of behavior and society. We need to share everything, we need to integrate everything. This is a time, I fully believe, that will make a difference in the effort for sustainability. Congratulations to you all and all the best. Thank you. Thank you, Célia Ramos. Now we have José Carlos Pimenta Machado. He is the Vice President of the Portuguese Agency for the Environment. Thank you. Good afternoon. A very special greeting to the Mayor. Pleasure to be here. Being part of this award, which is a recognition of the policies of the municipality of Valongo towards sustainable development. But let me also greet the entire team. This is teamwork, also to greet the quality of Valongo, and this project is well connected with Valongo. Let me also congratulate you all, and my colleague Xavier Ramos and the architect too. You are all in very good shape. Thank you for having me. This project signals the political commitment that Valongo has with sustainable development, dear President. And I do hope, and I'm sure it will have a multiplying effect in the neighboring municipalities, in the northern region, in the country, I would dare to say, everything that has been done in Valongo. And I would like to highlight 3 or 4 things that happened. One that is very familiar to me, which is the Green Corridor of the Lesser River. It's now starting, it's true. We are already working on it, but it is a volunteer manner, but very important to gather municipalities, to work as a team, because these projects, in order to be effective, we need to work as a team. So it's very important. The agency is associated with it. We are working also with the Agency of Municipalities, and I do hope to be able to share the good news of a tender that was submitted with 4 million euros to fund the recovery, really giving greater mobility to the Lesser River. Hence our commitment, we will work on it. We are in Valongo, and this is a very special date. The subject of water, of drought, is very relevant. And yesterday, as you know, it's the day of Our Lady of Candeias. So the saying says, if it's sunny, winter is coming. So it's a good sign. If it was raining, the winter is over. And a very nice day, it's when it rains for the Ministry of the Environment. But it's a problem. The drought is a problem. The mainland Portugal, we are going through a drought that this January is the second driest January of the last 20 years. And it's very weird. It's very weird because it's on the northern region, and this happens in Portugal. It's asymmetrical. There is a line in the Tagus River to the south, the drought in Sado, Mira, Alentejo, Algarve. But this drought is to the north. We've all seen the images on TV in the basin of Lima, in Lindoso, that image that we are all concerned with, surely, but also in Cávado, with Artaguaçu, the dams, and the Zezere River, and in Cabril or Castelo de Bode, in these dams, it's a very low level. Of course, that issues of IPMA do concern us. We will have a very dry February month. We need to prepare. We need to think as a community to understand in each of the actions, small gestures that are very important. We need to know how to save water, but also the sectors. In Portugal, and this is very relevant, we do consume 6 million hectometers of water globally. This is something as 2 Alqueva, which is a huge basin with a dam. And agriculture is the most important part, 70%, the urban sector 20%, and then the rest, 10%, small sectors, less relevant. But there is a way to go that we need to go together. We must adapt to this new reality. We need to address the territory it has to provide, and we need to adapt. It's quite relevant. And we need to think about this together to know how to face what the future brings. And the future brings, because of climate change, that in the future we will have less water. That's what the studies say. Studies from December, they are quite recent. We will have less 25% of water. So as a country, as a territory, we all individually or as a community or the economic sectors, we need to know how to adapt. One other important thing is the POC. I had the privilege of being in the beginning of that project. Jean-Manuel Ribeiro is quite resilient, and I would say that he's stubborn. I must confess, in a very nice manner, but he's stubborn. And we It's because he's stubbornly good. That's why we have this project. And there are 3 municipalities, teamwork, the spirit of cooperation. In the specific case of Valongo, Gondomar and Paredes, with this park of Serras. And it's here, it's a project that is ongoing, and it will happen in very relevant areas, biodiversity I'm sure, but it's also very important in this transition for decarbonization. It's something that allows to sequester carbon and to fight high temperatures well. Very relevant projects. There are other areas that I would love to highlight. They are not written here, but I would like to say that there is a project that happened months ago, which is the water treatment station of the Ferreira River. A few years ago we were talking about this, it took a while, but it was to rehabilitate and to improve the quality of the treatment in the Ferreira River. This is quite relevant to recover the water masses, which is so important for biodiversity. It's very important to work in the field of wastewater, but also solid waste. In terms of bio-waste, it has to do with circular economy, and we are fighting the good fight. And also in terms of energy efficiency, sustainability. So let's continue what we are doing, because we are fighting the good fight with this political commitment, with all these areas. I'm very pleased to see the entirety of the community of Valongo committed, involved. We are always here to help. Our agency is very eager to be present. And someone said that success has to do with our ability to dream. And that is true. That dream is now a reality, and it's very successful. Good afternoon, good work, and please rely on our agency for everything that you need. Thank you. Did I take too long? I didn't. Okay. Thank you, José Carlos Pimenta Machado. And no. You were perfectly on time. And now I have the distinguished honor to bring to this stage the mayor of the winning municipality, the mayor of Valongo, José Manuel Ribeiro. Good afternoon.
Senhor Presidente da Assembleia Municipal de Valongo,
dear Chairman of the Municipal Assembly of Valongo, dear Vice President, this ceremony was put together by women and men who work with a lot of passion, and that's how people work in the city of Valongo, but supervised by Ana Maria Rodrigues. So a round of applause and thank you for putting all of this together. Let me also greet the representatives of local authorities, representatives of the Assembly of the Republic, dear guests, dear Vice Presidents of CCDRN, of APA, my friend Teresa Anderson, she's a friend. We should give her a medal because she's a citizen of the city. Guests from other cities, the community here, schools, entrepreneurs, associations. Maria Luís, beautiful reading by Maria Luís, thank you for that. And also a word of appreciation for our friends at the European Commission, issues, the mayor of La Peranta, the mayor of Winkerswijk, and the mayor of Grenoble. Thank you all for your kind words, for your incentive and this spirit. And this is an award, this initiative of the EC. It is really an example of what the European Union means. This is only a reality because we work with each other, and Valongo also did. When it started for the first time and was able to be recognized, it was a reason of great pride.
Quem trabalha, eu ouvi aqui, deixem-me dizer, antes depois de ler aqui algumas
Before I
palavras,
read some of the things that I've wrote, let me say that those who work always love to be acknowledged, recognized. So we do celebrate, because to celebrate is one of the most human things there is. When we don't celebrate, something is not right. Celebrate is as important when we celebrate positive things, but also we have moments of celebration that are negative. This is a human side of things, and we must never forget that we are human. We are animals, we are human. We love to be with each other. Thank you all. This is an award for the entirety of the community, not for the city council, not for a representative. This is for... We are tenants. We are temporary tenants of the earth. And the secret is to interpret what the community wants. So it's an award of Valongo and Winterswijk in the green leaf dimension, but it's also an award of Grenoble as a green capital. I usually don't read, but I think that today I would love to read because I have some important messages that I would love to share. I am very happy to be here today with you, as I said, to celebrate this special day. Valongo is the stage of an European honor that makes us very proud. We were recognized with the European Green Leaf Award 2022, an initiative of the EC, recognizing the commitment with the best environmental results, with a special highlight to the efforts that bring green growth and new jobs. With this award, we disseminate Valongo, its valuable natural heritage and culture, their identities that make it unique. It is very important to mention that this award does not belong to this municipality, but to all its inhabitants, because it's only by their joint work with schools, associations, companies, and the community was it possible to reach here. And this is a day of departure, not of arrival. It's one of the advantages of these awards, the awards that create proper pressure. From now on, all the actors, all the actresses in the territory will want to do much more. This is one of the great advantages of this recognition. These are challenging times, and giving priority to the health of the planet is crucial. 2021 was the 7th consecutive year where the global temperature was above 1 degree of the levels recorded before the Industrial Revolution, with irreversible impacts on the communities. If you were to notice, our dams are now in levels that are historically low, and the rivers without an expressive level. This is serious. Do allow me to say, because there is a concern, there is also an energy. This land, which is Porto, but it has its own name, Alfena, Campos, Sobrado, Irmesinde, Valongo, since 2003, dear friend Pimenta Machado, that we have been continuously betting on the municipality and the water company in improving the water efficiency. Now Valongo is in the group of municipalities with the best performance in terms of water efficiency. And what does this mean? We are one of the municipalities with less water losses in the system of supply to the population. And the meaning of all of this is that since 2003, the municipality saved something as 3 years of consumption of the totality of the municipality, just because there was a low loss of water. There are municipalities where 50% of the water is lost. That's not the case of Valongo. And we are developing a project and you are available to help. Thank you for that. We are developing a project with Valongo, the water service of Valongo, that at the end of this quarter to have a study to the reusage of the sewage of our water treatment plants to water gardens and public parks, challenging the local parishes, sure, but this will be quicker if we get funding. So here it is. This is a very nice suggestion in such a beautiful day. So, as I was saying, there is almost no rain. And it's nice to welcome you here today. But I would prefer rain. Not immediately, not now, but we would love to have some rain, or a lot of rain. This is very serious, and it has an impact, a severe impact. The entirety of the country, according to the data that I was given, ended the month of January in general drought. The data show that 77% of wet areas are essential for the biodiversity are at risk of disappearing. This is very, very worrying. Let's have no questions. The world is facing environmental challenges that are unprecedented. We need to act before it's too late. The path for carbon neutrality is the path that we must design, and we are one of the municipalities that first we have replaced our fleet 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, that our vehicles are fully electrical. If it's not the first, it was the second of a dimension such as Valongo. We were the first one. We changed the public lighting system to LEDs. So we do work. We work discreetly, but we do work because that's the way to do it. To work discreetly, not to work to be in tiptoes, but to be recognized once in a while because we do enjoy it. We must gather efforts to maintain this fight against the loss of biodiversity, because currently 60% of the species and 77% of protected habitats by the directives of the EU are at risk of vanishing. This is problematic. This is very, very serious. The biodiversity of the planet is under threat, with nefarious consequences for the humanity itself, and we are all aware of it. Let me just say one thing. Almost all studies are unanimous in saying that the loss of biodiversity has a lot to do with the growing appearance of pandemics. When we don't have viruses in certain areas, the virus will look for human areas. That's a logical movement. I don't know if I'm going too far, but this is something that we will pay a very high price, losing biodiversity. We need to face challenges differently. The answer for European governments is decisive to answer to the dimension of the problems that we have at hand. That's why we're here. Initiatives such as the Paris Agreement and also the European Green Deal and all the initiatives that we are aware of are part of a consolidated strategy strongly connected towards facing the climate crisis in Europe that intends to be the first continent with a neutral impact up to 2050. It is clear and undeniable that in order to reach carbon neutrality we need a deep transformation of society as we know it. It's very simple. We need to act, to think as citizens and less as consumers. I repeat, to act as citizens and not as consumers. Because as consumers we will continue to keep this logic of destruction of the planet. And this transformation can only happen with the participation of the entirety of the community, without the involvement of citizens, because the climate crisis affects people, real people. It is us, alongside the communities. There's where the secret lies. That's why it is so important to have education. If people, when they hear us, they don't know what we are saying, well, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Sometimes we're not aware of it. And please, I'm sorry for getting out of script, but our experts in forestry say that on average 50% of kids have difficulties reading. What will this mean? 50% of the kids at the end of the class, they don't understand anything. They don't understand anything of what the teacher was saying. It's not funny. This is quite serious even. Some say that ignorance is bliss, especially for those who govern. That was many years ago, I'm sure, because it's not today. Ignorance is dangerous. Ignorance is very dangerous, because with ignorance we cannot bring changes in behavior. And that is what we do need. We must make sure that our children and future generations have the conditions to live in a healthier world. There is no other planet. There is no planet B. I'm a next generation member, but there is no A, B, C, Z planet. So if our planet goes into a crisis, everyone will suffer. And allow me to say this. I grew up in the mountains. I came here as a little boy. I love nature. Those who know me know that this is true. But how can people who are so wealthy, they think that because they are wealthy, if the planet is sick, they are not affected? Those people don't understand what they're doing. If the planet is sick, it will affect us all. Either you are rich or poor. It will affect us all. With wars, scarcity of resources, water, the quality of the air, which is terrible. No one will come up winning. This is for everyone. And this has to do with empowering protected areas, fighting pollution, preservation of fauna and flora, as well as recognizing and valuing natural heritage, investing in alternative energies, greener energies, sustainable energies, and a less intensive agriculture, more environmentally friendly. It is very important to have a circular economy with soft mobility, local commerce, without fear of conflict, because to govern is to be in conflict. That's it. We challenged the community, we started a path to change their behavior in terms of the waste. Sure. In terms of garbage, people call it waste. And we have almost 30,000 people separating the 5 flows. It must be one of the most successful municipalities in the country. The 5 flows: bio-waste, plastic, metal, glass, paper. This is a field that usually we have no landfills, because we use what it's not possible to value in incineration with no fears. The richest countries, the most advanced countries of Europe, use incineration to generate electrical energy with an advantage to it, because it can help, for example, the airport of Porto. There are projects going towards this goal. It's not enough to minimize the negative effects of climate change. We need to eradicate the practices that make it happen. The people have the right to have quality of life. For us, we must enjoy this municipality, this house this home that belongs to all of us, specifically in our territory, which is also the territory of us all. Valongo is Vintage Fike, is La Peranta. Valongo is Grenoble, it's Europe. Europe is Valongo and all the other municipalities. That is why, when we hear Maria Luís saying, come to the mountains, that's why we say we want more families. We want more citizens recognizing the importance of the environment. We want everyone to have the best quality of life, with a sense to it, something that it's meaningful, not just consumption, that it's not just surviving, is to be meaningful, to have more community. And this can only happen, we cannot invite people to the public space without healthy rivers, clean air, clean streets, less waste, more trees. I was very happy. And I want to thank the team who is building the local democracy house. And it was a coincidence, it was supposed to start this week. We started and they are now planting 40 of the 100 and something trees that we will replace. Our 30, we will replant 100 and something trees, more green areas. These public policies have to do with the Agenda 2030 and the fulfillment of the SDGs. So to be here today highlights the importance of the action, doing things, acting, less talk, more action, and the involvement of the local administration. This is fundamental. Democracy of proximity, the democracy where we all know each other. Without the local power in Portugal, in Europe, and the world, it's almost impossible to implement policies. It was with the local power, with the capillarity of the local authorities, of employees, of mayors. This was the only way to be successful in fighting the pandemic. Because it's the trait of the local power, of the democracy of proximity, that answers in the front line. So it's very important in this context. Many times, national governments face difficulties in explaining public policies. They have amazing public policies, but then there is a need to spend time and money to explain people when they have amazing partners. The best partners to explain public policies are the local power, democracy of proximity, because we know each other. There are no filters. So that's how it is important in this context. And it's fundamental for the promotion of the well-being, of local cohesion, social cohesion, creating bonds, connections, relationships. It's very important not to forget that we cannot lose these connections, what makes us special. We are so fragile as animals, but so strong when we are together. Everyone says we can only survive for the last thousands of years because a human being has the ability of cooperating with each other. We also fight, there are also wars, unfortunately, but above all, we have this ability of creating connections, of cooperating, solving problems, cooperative work, working as a network, gathering efforts for common goals, and above all, to fight and preserve the happiness of everyone. What we have been developing is a reference, an example that can be replicated in Portugal and the world. I do remind you that part of the territory of Valongo It's in the regional protected landscape area and it's part of the Natura Network 2000, motivating us to have actions of valuation, reforestation, and for as long as I'm a representative, I will have a dream. I hope that I could have the means to buy the mountains. And why? Because only those who are owners of the territory can determine what is planted there. Nothing against eucalyptuses, nothing. But the forest of eucalyptus, it's not a synonym of biodiversity. I would love to have different flowers and different trees. Oaks, cork oaks. I know that this is regeneration. This is a legacy not for us. I won't be the one cutting the ribbon, but in 30, 40 years we will have a forest that resists fires, that resists climate change, that creates economic dynamics, that allows to extract values from specific trees. Everything that we cannot do in our forests. That's why I would love to buy the mountains. That's why I love the arbutus, which is a specific tree. No one bought a mountain before. It's time to follow the dream of buying a mountain. Let's follow the utopia, like Teresa Anderson was saying. Utopia is very important. Sometimes we are afraid of the utopia. Maybe there is some money from the RRP continuing to replant in burn areas to recover, waterfront areas, requalification of rivers, so many different actions. Creating urban gardens. I'm anxious because it's almost ready. In a few days, and you are invited, we will inaugurate the second biggest complex of urban gardens, almost 200, in Irmesinde, in Palmeira. Our goal is to get to 1,000 urban gardens. The simple act of asking a family that has an abandoned field, I will pay your rent, please lend me this, it's difficult. But we do pay for it. And why is it important? Because the number 1,000, it's just a number. It could be 2,000. Because when people have vegetable gardens, they learn how to do composting, they change their behaviors, and it's good for their health, namely their mental health, because it's much better to be in the vegetable garden than drinking some of the things that they advertised in the TV. This is not good for anyone, because it is, you know, what we call the head and mental health. So, following this trend, it's a good practice, a best practice, stimulating the participation of citizens, and it's so determining for this process is the participation of citizens, the direct benefits for the urban environment and health, but also social and intergenerational connections. The future belongs to all. So, our goal is to continue to foster actions developing all the citizens of all ages in order to make it possible to make a change. The municipality will continue to bet on a strong participation involving the community in terms of beneficial solutions for all. It is with citizens that are aware of what's happening that we can design the true democracy. And if you'll allow me, a message for those who have a huge responsibility for the next years, which is the youngsters. Incentive for them, because they need to have a role in solving these problems, giving them a voice to their concerns, contributing for the progress of our territory. Why? Because it is to them that the future belongs. Thank you all, and please do the best you can to help our planet. Thank you.
obrigada, Sr. Presidente da Câmara.
Thank you, dear Mayor.
E vamos dar continuidade à
We
nossa
will
cerimónia
continue
com a
with our
mensagem de
ceremony.
Sua
Now I have a
Excelência,
message
o Sr.
from His
Presidente da
Excellency, the
República,
President
Sr.
of the
Marcelo
Republic,
Rebelo.
Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa.
Infelizmente não posso estar convosco hoje. Tenho há muito tempo aprazado uma visita a Valongo e hoje era bem merecida pela recepção do Prémio European Green Leaf. É um prémio europeu, patrocinado pela Comissão Europeia e em que o júri é muito claro quanto aos méritos do município de Valongo. Méritos que têm a ver com a preservação da floresta, com a preocupação ambiental, com a sustentabilidade do desenvolvimento, com o diálogo entre gerações, com a projeção do futuro. E a importância das autarquias locais na projeção do futuro. Que o mesmo é dizer a importância das populações, de cada cidadã, de cada cidadão, a começar nos mais jovens. É por isso que Valongo recebe o prémio. É por isso que daqui lhe envio um grande, grande abraço solidário de felicitações.
Muito obrigada à Sua Excelência, o Sr. Presidente da República.
You, His Excellency, the President of the Republic, we are coming to an end of this ceremony, which was so representative in terms of symbolism. Let's toast to a better future, more sustainable. Our dear children will carry this flagship of the hymn to the environment. We will be very happy to have them. It was written by Thelma Maia, the music by Salomão Coelho Abreu. It's the hymn to the environment. Emanuel Quisua and Catarina Oliveira, the children of the school group Vales Longos, Escola Básica 2-3 of Valongo. A round of applause for all of them.
Valongo European Green Leaf Award 2022. As crianças da Escola Básica 2-3 da cidade de Valongo. O nosso aplauso, por favor. Vamos ouvir o hino. E o hino vai ser cantado por todos os meninos, mas com um solo do Emanuel Quissua e da Catarina Oliveira.
Mais que uma cidade bonita, temos sonhos sustentáveis. Somos gente que acredita em formas de vida saudáveis.
Juntos queremos assumir compromisso com o ambiente e a cada dia construir um mundo melhor e diferente. Um mundo melhor e diferente. Para crescer nesta terra sem ter de fugir para Marte. Desde o rio até à serra, vou fazer a minha parte. Juntos queremos assumir compromisso com o ambiente e a cada dia construir um mundo melhor e diferente. Um mundo melhor e diferente. Juntos queremos assumir compromisso com o ambiente e a cada dia construir um mundo melhor e diferente. Um mundo melhor e diferente.
Um mundo melhor e diferente.
Um mundo melhor e diferente.
E agora estes meninos vão distribuir por todo o público.
And now these kids will distribute the souvenirs of the Greenleaf Awards 2022 Valongo, the winning municipality, on behalf of the mayor of Valongo, José Manuel Ribeiro. I hereby close this session. To all of you, please don't forget, all together we must work for a better future, more sustainable. Thank you and have a great afternoon.